98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right, 10 questions, 7 minutes. We got to be quick. I'm late. Go ahead, Kevin. What are our options?
So, look, all I'm telling you is you might be right. You also might be wrong.
Very astute analysis there, man. Next.
Yep.
Ask the question, Bert. Jesus, Bert. Spit it out. Next. I'd suspend him for that. Suspended.
Come on.
Suspended. Suspend.
Come on.
Pasternak's been playing like a complete a-hole for about 2 weeks. Suspend him. Next. So why throw away a distress? You don't move on from a distressed asset. You what's that word? Distressed. Next.
Last one.
Who's the only offensive coordinator that had success with Matt Jones?
Pinky.
Hit it.
So, look, all I'm telling you is you might be right. You also might be wrong.
Number 10. If Mike Tomlin leaves the Steelers, give me a good landing spot for him.
Washington. He's from the area. I think he'd fit in nicely there.
Seattle. I don't know. He just seems to me to feel like that feels like a Seattle kind of coach.
And I wouldn't be shocked if it's Dallas. I mean, Belichick could obviously tighten the screws there, but he could do the same thing, and he's younger and more relatable.
Next. Ask the question, Bert. Who should be the next coach of the Steelers if he leaves?
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
The team who drafted him, Mike Vrabel, goes back.
Vrabel.
That'd be awesome.
Does he not fit the mold?
Oh, perfect.
Like central casting. Next. I'd suspend him for that. Suspended.
Come on.
Suspended.
Would you come on?
Stand by it. Who should be the Steelers' next quarterback?
Anybody. Those guys stink. I mean, I don't care. Go get Mazz's guy in Chicago. I don't care who they get. Just not any of those guys.
Baker Mayfield.
Kirk Cousins.
Justin Fields is the answer.
Well, that's a good one, too.
He'd be a good Steelers quarterback. Because you know what?
Someone with some grit.
Yeah, let me tell you. And I don't know if Fields quite has it. Maybe he does. I mean, I just don't know. But the Steelers don't need too good of a quarterback. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's not the Steelers quarterback is not a pinpoint accurate finesse, fancy pants, pure he's
got to be someone with some grit,
size, running. He's not great. Adam Bradshaw wasn't even great. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Balls. He has to have balls.
He can't be too good because otherwise it doesn't make sense as a Steelers quarterback. Next. So why throw away a distress? You don't move on from a distressed asset. You distressed. Number 7. How do we explain the Buccaneers being better this year with Baker Mayfield than they were last year with Tom Brady? How do we explain that, Greg?
It's a great question. I looked at all the stats, and I only come up with 2 things. Number 1, Super Bowl hangover was a big part of last year that, outside of Brady, those guys didn't know how to deal with success. But also the schedule. The Bucs last year played the 8th toughest schedule. This year they played the 24th.
The quarterback cared? That would be my explanation.
So you're going quarterback on that. The reason they're better this year is quarterback.
Yeah, Brady had checked out. It was over.
And
he was out.
That's because of the divorce. Baker Mayfield didn't have to trudge through a season miserable because of a divorce. Brady was miserable last year. It permeated the team. Chris Godwin said something last night, or has, even going into the wild card round, we're a happier team this time around. The team was miserable last year.
Yeah, Brady checked out. He was done.
Interesting. So he did that to 2 teams.
Yeah, and Mayfield's playing for his career. He's good, free agent, playing for a contract, all that good stuff.
So why are the Bucs better this year with Baker Mayfield than they were last year with Tom Brady? And you 2 answer, including you, Murray, quarterback.
Yeah. Yep.
Good answer. Next.
Who's the only offensive coordinator that had success with Matt Jones?
Pinky.
All right. How do we explain, part 2, how do we explain to dumb lemming Patriots fans how teams like the Buccaneers and Rams, how do we explain how they've been able to bounce back and win despite stays in cap jail while the fiscally conservative Patriots have dropped to the bottom of the league? How do we explain that?
Well, the scoreboard first and foremost, but really it's about being creative with your cap and how you construct contracts. And I don't mean per game active roster bonuses.
Talent wins, cap is crap.
Thank you.
Cap is fake. And if you want to spend money in the NFL, you can. You just got to be willing to do it.
We explain it by saying you've been lied to. You've been fed a myth by the team and with the help of the local media that propagate this thing about the salary cap and stupid teams leverage themselves. And we don't want to be that kind of team that spends big and then has to dip, and that's no way to run an operation. It was a lie. It was a myth. because you've dropped to the bottom of the league while being fiscally conservative, and teams like the Buccaneers and Rams, who were supposed to be in cap jail, have kept winning. So why is that? Because the cap is utter bullcrap, and that thing fed to you was a myth. Do you understand it yet? Do you realize it?
Nope.
Next.
So, look, all I'm telling you is you might be right. You also might be wrong.
Truest thing ever said.
That is,
Yes, you
that's
nailed it.
insightful. It is.
Tool bag question. Who was the biggest tool bag from Super Wildcard Weekend, Greg?
Jerry. I mean, every year he gets his hopes up. He thinks that's going to be the year. Then they fall flat on his face, and then he looks like he's going to cry in his post-game press conference. It's hilarious to me.
Joe Haggerty, i.e. Mike McCarthy. Seriously, you freaking tool. You got completely pantsed.
I will go with Mike Tirico, who took a few minutes to be a complete whore and make the pigs at the network and that run the NFL happy by gloating about the streaming numbers. Oh, what? This is our moment. Peacock, 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 peacock right in your face. Oh, this is the best stream. All these numbers. That was repulsive.
Next. Ask the question, Bert. What would you do in Miami to take the next step?
I would stay the course. I would just look, success in the NFL is not overnight. Like they keep taking steps. They got to get tougher. They need to get better up front on the offensive line. And I know they have the whole Tua thing, his contract, but there are ways around that. And I think they just need to continue just to get better.
Big physical tight end. They need a tight end in that offense. They got to control the middle of the field. It's a perimeter passing game, so I'm good with the offensive line too. But their offense has to get more physical, and they got to get better in the middle of the field.
Send Hawaiian Mac Jones packing and go trade for Justin Fields or sign Baker Mayfield.
So that's an upgrade from Tua, you think?
Yeah, he's terrible.
Okay, but Baker Mayfield's good.
He is right now.
Okay,
might be okay in that offense.
He won't be good next week though.
And he's a righty. No left.
Fair enough. Next. I'd suspend him for that. Suspended.
Come on.
Suspended.
Would you come on?
Who stands out in that Eagles collapse last night?
Just that the Eagles are one of these.
Who?
They're losing both coordinators. That did them in the offseason to head coaching jobs. They just thought they were the smartest people in the room and they could just replace them.
I was asking
similar
for
to
the name
Belichick.
of a person.
Still feels like a what to me?
Yeah, exactly. Who stands out?
Hurts. The biggest difference in that team is the play of Jalen Hurts from year 1 to year 2. The other one I'd throw on there is Patricia, but that's a cheap shot.
Well, who put him in that position? The dork head coach, Nick Sirianni. Losing those assistants, he's lost all control of that locker room. And it seems like the team hates the quarterback, too, but that's ultimately the coach's problem.
Thoughts on Patricia, Big Jim?
Oh, it's the best. Wherever he goes, he's the ruiner. It's the absolute best. They suck, and they can't tackle anyway, but they made him the defensive coordinator, and it even got worse. Someone who was who is it on ESPN, the former quarterback, the Lions former quarterback there. Orlovsky? Yeah, he had tweeted today. He said that the tape's even worse on the Eagles defense, having watched it today. Like the Bucs should have put up like 40 points on them last night.
I don't know why I didn't notice till last night or notice it, but Patricia slimmed down. He's lost some weight.
He looks like he's on Ozempic or something.
Oh yeah, he's lost weight. He looks decent.
Next. So why throw away a distress? You don't move on from a distressed asset. Number 2, rank in order the 8 remaining quarterbacks in the playoffs, please, Greg.
Mahomes, Allen, Lamar. I can't read my handwriting on this one. But Love, Stroud, Goff, Baker. I was missing somebody. Who did
Brock
I know?
Purdy.
Oh, Purdy. I put Purdy after Lamar.
So Purdy's 4th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Stroud, Love, Purdy, Goff, Mayfield.
Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Love, Stroud, Goff, Mayfield, Purdy.
Wow.
You don't like Purdy?
Oh, I can't stand him.
Next.
Who's the only offensive coordinator that had success with Matt Jones?
Tinky.
Rank in order the 8 remaining coaches left in the playoffs, please.
Shanahan, Reed, Harbaugh, LaFleur, D'Amico Ryans, Campbell, Bowles, Sean McDermott.
I screwed up. I did teams, not coaches.
Oh, man. Reed, Harbaugh, Dan Campbell, LaFleur, Ryans, Shanahan, Al-Qaeda-loving Sean McDermott, Todd Bowles.
Bowles definitely 8.
Shanahan 6th, Jim.
Yeah, I hate him too. I hate the Niners. I pray that they lose this weekend.
I was going to say, I think your list became personal for you.
Yeah, it's my list.